pay, I think it was like $400 for a signed glove. And he had his own brand on it. So this Mexican man came and he said like he wanted the glove. He wanted the glove but he had his own glove, but he still paid the $500 or whatever it was, but could you sign his glove? So he's gone to the organizer, and the organizer most probably didn't, because he's a Mexican and he was there with his family, but he was really like, no, you gotta buy this glove. But I said, what difference does it make? He's still paying the same money. So I was hosting the show with a really lovely lady, right? Alexa, me and her were hosting the show, and she said, Spence, could you go and just tell the organizer guy, like, it's no problem, the guy just wants his own glove signed. So, and I could see this guy was like this little short, tubby white American guy, but he was getting really animated on this poor Mexican guy. And the Mexican guy was just being humble. Hey, I just want to sign my glove, please. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want no trouble. Right? So I've gone over there, and I'm not even, how I speak, I'm using a lot of hand gestures. So I'm like, well, bro, this, I've just, you got the wrong end of the stick. This guy just wants the thing signed, but he wants his own glove signed. Yeah. Right? Still paying the same money. Here's the money. Right. So from the corner now, Mike's seeing my hands doing all of this to the promoter who's just booked him. Now, I know he's already got the hump because he may say, you can't talk to this guy when it comes to boxing. He knows too much boxing, right? All I hear is from the back, hey, man. You're like what? He goes, hey, you don't talk to him like that. He's the promoter. You keep your fucking mouth shut, okay? You're the fucking DJ. I said, brother, I'm not the DJ. Your mate Greg just asked me to host it. Said, I don't give a shit. This man, I'm like, so I'm looking and like, now you gotta remember, this is I don't know, 2014. I'm looking at Mike Tyson, and I know you've just been on a piss the night before. Yeah, you stunk of weed. I was looking and I'm saying, like, I fancy me chances there, you know? No, seriously. It sounds crazy. Man, that's what I know, because that's when you got it. I say I fancy my chances. And like, because especially then, he's been on this vegan thing and he's lost weight. I'm looking, I'm saying, I fancy my chance. No, seriously, I fancy my chances. Because at that time, you're in your 50s now. And at that time, I must have been about 30 something. I was like, I really do fancy my chances there. So I'm looking around to see the rest of the crew that's with me to see if they're going to back me when Mike's going off at me, right? I turn around, and I'm looking for like Zab Judah's brother and the rest of his crew. They're all on the other side of the auditorium. So they've left me. I'm in front of Mike Tyson now. I'm thinking, right, it's going to go off. And then he looked, he goes, hey, man, hey, what are you here for? What are you here for? I goes, mate, I was just here with your wife earlier. He goes, brother Spence. Whole demeanor's changed. Gave me the biggest hug. Oh, man. And I was explaining to him, no, I would never disrespect you or anybody, but the guy didn't understand what this Mexican man was saying. I'm trying to explain to him, it's all love. Oh, man, you. And like, yeah, I showed the picture. But it could have gone curtains for me there. Whoa. Yeah, I mean, seriously, it could have been curtains. It could have been curtains for me. But yeah, That's my Mike Tyson story. It's very funny because... And since then, we've been really cool mates. I'm really close to his family. Like, his father-in-law, who's a devout Muslim, isn't a mom. His wife, his family. So we spent time with him when we was out in Saudi Arabia, because they got a gym out there as well. I went to the gym opening as well. The gym's actually being run by Joel Gallagher. Okay. So it's like, yeah, I'm really grateful for that, but I've got a Mike Tyson story where it could have gone tits up for me, and I wouldn't have been the knowledge because it hit me so hard I wouldn't remember anything.
Do you think he's got that crazy power?
Of course it.
So look, there's a fight coming up between him and Jake Paul. Jake Paul's quite a strong boy as well, and he's in his late 20s. He's got that higher testosterone. He's been more active. What chances does Jake Paul have against Mike Tyson?
He's got a hell of a chance, simply because Mike Tyson's old. We just got to be real. But you know when people say the last thing you lose as a fighter is your punch. When you can hit like Mike Tyson, and it was like, remember he did that exhibition, what was it, 5 years ago or whatever, he did that exhibition with Roy Jones. Yeah. Right? And Roy Jones would say, look, Mike real. Yeah, he punch real hard. Mike is a real guy. So I'm looking, I'm saying, like, don't kind of take this as a joke. Mike can still hit. But I'm looking at that, and also that was like 5 years ago, Mike.
Mhm.
And you were an old man then,
Mhm.
right? You got into incredible condition, but you're still an old man. I don't know. Simply, and this is the truth. I don't know because I don't really rate Jake Paul. I don't, but I have to rate his commitment because he's committed to these things, and he's well been trained by a couple of guys I know. Jay Leon Love, former super middleweight WBC Intercontinental Champion. He trains him, and also Shane Mosley. I mean, a free weight world champion. Shane Mosley trains him as well. Works in there, so he's clever to the fact that I'm going to surround myself with greatness, or I'm going to surround myself with great guys who know what they're doing. So it's not a foregone conclusion because I've got to say, like, Mike, you are an old man, right? That's all I'm saying. Mike, you're an old man. If it was Mike 10 years ago, it's 10 years ago, right? He'd be 48. He destroyed Jake Paul, right? Destroyed. I mean, seriously hurt him. But at this age now, and because Jake Paul's been continuous, sometimes you got to take away your sentimental emotions and say, like, you know what, realistically, you're still an old man trying to do something, even though it's like gimmick boxing, but it's not gimmicks when you're getting hit. But really and truly, if Mike claps him, he's gone. I don't care what anyone's saying, but it's whether Mike can clap him, and I think Mike could clap him and should be able to clap him, but I'm also taking into consideration that you are 60 years old.
There's a saying that you don't play boxing.
No,
and
you
there's
don't.
and there's a lot of YouTubers out there and misfits. These influencers are getting into boxing nowadays. You got like Soul Puppy, them sort of boys. Like, what do you think of that whole thing? Do you think it?
You know, there's a slight resemblance between you and Puppy, right? You know that. There's a little better looking version. You know, there's a slight resemblance. Come on. Oh, stop it. Right, no. There is a slight resemblance, bro. I said, yeah, you know what I mean? What about him? You know what?
Is it good for boxing, or is it demeaning? Like, you know?
No, it's not. It's not demeaning. I tell you when it was demeaning. It was demeaning when Jake Paul was calling out Canelo, and I want to fight Canelo, and I beat Canelo, and blah 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 blah, and everything else. But what I realized is through guys like KSI, who I've got to give massive props to, because it was KSI and Logan Paul that brought this whole thing to the forefront. Yeah, that made it so big. I rate the fact that they are committed to this thing now, because the majority of guys have got professional boxing trainers. You know what I mean? I know Daly Ojaderi, who's a really good up and coming coach. I used to manage him years ago, and but he's one of these coaches. I know he's making more money training these guys than he does from professional boxing, right? Because that's how much money is in this influencer boxing, because because people come out, fans come out. So do I think I don't think it's a bad thing, because it's still putting spotlights on what the real thing is. And now with the influx of, because that's not real boxing. Call it what it is. It's influencer boxing, right? I don't want to be too demeaning, but it's joke boxing, right? Then you're seeing with the magnificent, and I have to call it as it is, he's excellently Turkey Al Sheikh, right?
Yeah.
What he's done, he's pumped the cash into the game now, right? So fighters are saying, right, I've really got something to fight for. Like, see, like before, I want titles, I want this and that.
Yeah.
And we're seeing certain guys who are world champions still living in council flats.
Yeah.
Right? So you think, and that's no disrespect to anyone living in council flats before anyway. So I came off of a council estate. I'm proud where I've come from. Right? So when you're seeing that, now there's money in it. There's a new drive. There's a new hype behind it. There's new people. It's being risen.
Fights are being made.
Yeah, the most important thing is fights are being made. And it's like certain fights that I think about. I swear to God that Turkey Al Sheikh's bugged my house. And I think that's got something to do with Spencer Brown of Gold Star Promotions, right? I'm just going to be real. Because Spencer Brown was the guy that kind of was the man that linked Tyson Fury to Turkey Al Sheikh. And then for the back of that, all of this whole thing was made out in Saudi Arabia. Because you got to think, their private investment fund that they've got, yeah? They've got something like $500 billion, right, for sport and entertainment. $500 billion.
Big.
Right? So when you see that, that can only be a good thing simply because it's bringing eyeballs to the sport. It's not maybe not bringing eyeballs to the sport in Saudi Arabia, like in spectators, right? But globally, it's bringing eyeballs. Globally, and look at this, they're doing a Terence Crawford fight next month. They're doing the fights over here as well with the Joshua versus Dubois. That's what you originally asked me for, but we just went off on to. I just got off on tangents. Don't worry about it. I bring it around. Right? So because we're seeing all of those things happen, you got to say massive props because apart from being a boxing historian, I actually